Greetings. Welcome to Limitless Alchemy 808. I'm Patience. The title is not clickbait at all. Since you've incarnated, since the time of incarnation, reincarnation, doesn't matter, the time you stepped through the portal into this experience, you've been manifesting. You've been designing and aligning the life that you agreed to experience, the story that you agreed to be a part of. In a previous video, which I'll include in the end screen, I had mentioned that your alignment is your outcome. So any energy, thought forms, modalities that you choose to align with, those are going to produce the outcome of your experience. That is why as children, when we ask for things and we get them or we don't, eventually we'll get them, because at some point we'll remember what we wanted, and we have the means and the resources and the power to pursue it. So regardless, you're always manifesting, you're always experiencing the life that you design. I have recommended subliminals before, and I still do. I do like them. You don't need to reprogram your brain in the sense of the subconscious to respond to you. You're in constant contact with yourself, whether internally or externally. And I have said in a previous video, which I'll also include a link for, that speaking what we want creates timelines, and that is how we're all witches. And it's still valid. It's still valid because, okay, as I was saying, so we're speaking what we prefer into existence, because that is the predetermined time to do so. That is the predetermined time to communicate that alignment, that frequency, that wish, that desire. And everything you desire, the universe desires. And so that is why you already have it. Whether you want to win the lotto, or you want to have a ton of clients, or you want, I'm not going to limit anybody. Whatever you want for you, whatever lights you up inside, whatever brings you the most joy, is what's for you, is what you're aligning with. The only limitations that are on us are the ones we place due to mindset, and that's fine. There's many of us who align with our desires through what some would refer to negative, so complaining, or it's much easier to show yourself the results of a lack mindset, of a scarcity mindset, of a fear-based mindset, because those energies are so fluid, like extremely fluid, like they're constantly flowing because they've been aligned with so heavily for so long. And that's okay, because everything's changing. You're changing 1,000,000,000 times a second. It's just noticing the change that gives you not the confirmation, but you see the alignment is undeniable. It's materialized. It's experiencing you in the sense of that is your day-to-day. I can say that I manifested my current day job because when I was laid off from my first design job after graduation, I had applied to this company that I currently am at and kept getting denied, kept no interview, nothing. And I tried many times, and went on to other opportunities. And when I was working in downtown, I was in a temp position, and the company that I was at, they close for the last 2 weeks of the year, paid holiday. But if you're temp, you don't get paid. You get the time off, but you don't get paid. And so I was in a very fear-based and lack mindset, because I was the only income for my family at the time. And I mean, I still am, but I don't have a partner to support. I mean, it's just me and my kids. But I was the only income for our family of 4, and I was freaking out. 1:44 on the time. Thank you, universe. I was freaking out, and I saw that a position was open at this company, and I was like, let me just apply again. And I ended up getting an interview and got a second interview and got the job. And I was extremely happy to be working there. I felt like I hit the jackpot because it was stable, secure, convenient. It was where I had thought that I wanted to be. And now, that was right before the pandemic, and during the pandemic, I'll just say I had a great time. I am not invalidating anyone else's experience with the pandemic and how many of us transitioned at that time due to the virus and other underlying factors. I definitely had a few family members who transitioned because of the pandemic, and we have the experience, we have the evidence, so we have the lessons. Lest we not forget. So, pandemic, it was pretty interesting and a very transformative time for many of us who remain in the experience, in the physical shells. And many things have changed since then, and it's just part of this definition's purpose to continue on a new path and fulfill the timeline that I had designed so long ago for myself. The timeline that I designed as a child. So That's just one example, but I mean, it's all the time. It's all the time. So if you're going back to subliminals and techniques, if you are in constant communication with yourself, internally, externally, they're both valid, because no matter how you speak to yourself internally, that's still going to, it affects your internal reality and will be produced in your external reality as a reflection. So it doesn't matter, just so long as you're talking to yourself. Socrates favored the spoken word over the written word, but now that we rely so heavily on written word, that's also another form of communication with yourself and completely valid. So, you know, people who script and everything like that, I feel that with scripting, if it's not materializing instantly in the way that someone may think it would, or is maybe sort of led to believe, then it can be frustrating. But just start writing stories for yourself. Just start writing them out, and don't worry about whether you see them in the 3D or not. They already exist because you've written them. The timelines are there. And when you write it, you don't create the timeline. It's already created, but you're aligning with that creation when you write it down. You can choose whatever you want to do, whatever you feel is best for you. You know what's best for you. But the written word is also very, very important to the experience. To keep people empowered, they should be literate. They should be able to read and write. So that is why I am creating a new channel where I will be reading public domain books. So they'll be over 100 years old or older. So the language will be different, but it is my passion to keep myself empowered. And as I keep myself empowered, I am empowering others. So I will share that channel once I have recorded the first few videos, and I'll be reading Alice Through the Looking Glass. But back to the title, the subject at hand here. So you're just, whatever feels the most comfortable, feels the most easy, feels the most natural for you, then why not? That's all we ask. Why not? Why not? You're not hurting anybody, you're not hurting yourself, you're perfect, you're golden, so why not? And you know, it's just a lot of, we have the law of expectation, we have the law of assumption, we have the law of attraction, we have so many universal laws. Is there the law of attachment? Is there the law of detachment? I don't know. Probably could research that, but then it doesn't really matter. So the most that we can take from all of this is that we are the key. We are the portal. We are the vibration. Nothing that is for you will pass you by. It will come around at the perfect appointed time. There's nothing in the 3D that can tell you otherwise, that can deter you from your knowing that you deserve and you're worthy of everything you prefer. And everything you prefer prefers you more. The greatest thing we can do is just focus on ourselves and being present. I was watching a YouTube creator with my eldest. I believe his name is Damien Luck 925. It's a very good name. But in all of his videos, he always repeats the same things, and in the sense of his intro and before he performs any sorts of actions of the content. If you've seen his content, then you know what I'm referring to. But basically, he is in constant contact with the universe, with himself at all times. And he is present. He is in the moment, in all moments. And he is giving us affirmation of the possibilities that are available to everyone, to all of us. The way he reacts to the moment is how he's perpetuating his life, is how he's perpetuating his experience, is how he's fulfilling his story. And I just thought it was so beautiful and so cool, because my son has been resistant to a lot of the changes that I've made and the mindset shifts and everything. And that I understand. He's a reflection of me. I even told him I release all of the limiting beliefs and bullshit that I placed upon him when he was younger, the conditioning that I imparted to him that had been imparted to me. And I told him, I go, you really like this YouTuber, but he's doing everything that I'm doing now, and I have imparted to you that would help you, would change your experience as well. It's definitely made an impact on him. I'm seeing a lot of the reflection of me, and it's very fulfilling. It's very rewarding. To do things without reward is how we get recognition. But yeah, so, it's, and I've mentioned in many other videos, it's just keep putting yourself on the pedestal. We're all on the same playing field. I'm God, you're God also. And that is how we're all one. That is how we're all together. Do no harm, take no shit, right? So there's no right and wrong. There is no good and bad. There is no us versus them. Those are just distractions. And Damien has also imparted that to his subscribers and everything. So it's just part of the remembering, part of the being awoken, becoming conscious of what we really are and the whole experience that we're in. life is happening for us, not to us. It's the choices that we make. So, you know, I don't choose to align with bigotry or xenophobia or homophobia or sexism or anything. You know, I am a former internal misogynist, internal misogynist feminist, but no, I'm just a feminist. Like, women and femmes, they can do whatever they want with their bodies, with themselves. Like, you know, not hurting, you know, whatever. But like, they can. If a woman's gonna walk around in a short skirt, I'm just not gonna look. And if I look, I'm not gonna judge her. I'm not going to say, why is she wearing that? What does she think she's doing? I don't really care. I'm more focused on myself. Winners focus on themselves, not everyone else. And when I say you're perfect, it's not a perfectionist mindset. You are God, and God is perfect. So just knowing that you're a uniquely shaped piece of the puzzle of this experience, and that you fit perfectly. You fit perfectly. There's just nothing to deny that. I mean, whatever you want to work on, whatever you want to change, whatever you want to do, why not? Go ahead, do it. In the terms of for yourself, right? You want to be a murderer, you want to do this, please no. Please no. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm warning you, I'll put a knife right in you. But for the most part, I don't go around attacking others. I'm not gonna start shit, but that doesn't mean I won't end it. Just saying. But yeah, just whatever is the easiest for you, whatever makes the most sense or is the most comfortable, why not? What is the most comfortable for you to do, even if it's doing nothing at all? The most easy thing to do is just keep gratitude and keep in constant communication with yourself, because all you have is yourself. Then the steps, inspired actions, they become even clearer and more sure. Building that trust in yourself. One thing I will say about speaking things aloud is don't make promises you don't intend to keep, because that is how you build this trust in yourself. Because actions speak louder than words. If you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, your higher self is like, okay, well, they're not true to themselves. And there's no one fake. There is nobody fake around here. However you choose to show up in the experience, that is your true, authentic self. Whether you put on a persona or something else, that's you. The only way we can be inauthentic is when we're not being true to ourselves, when we're not being honest with ourselves, when we're denying our shadow, denying our definition's purpose. That is the only way you can be inauthentic. That is the only way you can be dishonest. Yes, you can lie and say things, but thing I've realized with lying as a recovered pathological liar and kleptomaniac, no matter what, things will reveal themselves. Everything will be found out regardless. So what is the point in lying? It doesn't serve anybody, especially yourself. But yeah, just know that please remember that you're in the perfect pace, in the perfect place, with the perfect people when you're with them. And that I'll see you in the next one. Take care.